Hi everyone, and welcome to week 6 of our videos. This week I was given chapters 16 and 18. 16 talks about privacy and 18 talks about media violence. So I'm going to go ahead and share some of my connections with you guys for these two chapters. So a connection I had with chapter 16 comes from page 343, and it says, a lot of this information about you that you might think is private is easily accessible by anyone, and much of it is free. For example, check out pq.com and snitch.name. Anyone can get access to satellite pictures of any neighborhood at Zillow.com. You can even find out who owns each property, when they bought it, and how much they paid for it on blockshopper.com. After reading this, I was really curious, and I went over to pq.com and I put my name in the search bar. And upon getting the results, not too much really showed up that was available for free. It did pull up my parents' names and my siblings' names, but it didn't pull up any phone numbers or addresses. It said it did have phone numbers and addresses if I were to pay for it. So I didn't want to pay for it, so I don't know what they have on me. But after that, I was still curious, and I put in a couple friends' names, and it brought up a lot more information than it did for me. So available for free, I got one of my friends' address from this site. Didn't have to pay a thing. It was right there for anybody to see. So it's kind of a little scary to know that this information is available to anybody, at the click of a mouse. So that leads me into my question for you guys this week. I encourage you to go to pq.com, type in your name, see what information you can find out about yourself. Let me know in the reply next week, and let me know if you were surprised by what you found. So my next connection from chapter 16 is from page 344, and it says, the using of the media to invade your privacy with unsolicited and unwanted messages that are designed to get you to buy a product or service is called spamming. It is especially focused on email accounts, but also applies to text messages sent to your phone and all kinds of attention-getting devices, pop-ups, banners, etc., that clutter web pages as we surf the web. So I think this is something that we can definitely all connect with, as I'm sure we all get spam all the time. I notice this more when I'm on Facebook and I'm looking through and I see articles that I want to read, articles that friends have shared, or articles that Facebook brings up for you to read that you might like. So when I click on them, before I even get to read anything, these pop-up ads come up at me and cover the whole screen, and I have to exit out of them before I can even see it. And I feel like this happens to me all the time. It hardly ever doesn't happen. I also had to I used to have a Hotmail account a really long time ago, and I had to get rid of it because I just got so much spam. It was just ridiculous how much spam I got. So I just had to get rid of it. So, moving on to chapter 18, a connection I had for this chapter is from page 383, and it says, what is the public's conception of violence? That conception is limited to physical violence that is depicted in a serious, non-humorous manner, and that results in severe physical harm to the victims that is presented graphically. Audiences' judgments about the degree of violence in a TV program or movie are related much less to the number of violent acts than to the degree of graphicness. So I thought this was really interesting to read, and to see that most people see movies as violent if the violence is graphic. So, for example, a movie showing someone got shot. However, I think it's really interesting that they'll think it's less violence if there isn't a graphic. So, for example, someone just implying that someone got shot. It's, both are the same scenarios, both as equally as violent, but you just don't physically see one. So, I would kind of have to agree, though. If I watch someone get shot on TV, I'm not really going to react to it, but I'm definitely, going to say, oh yeah, that's violent. But if someone just implies it, I'm probably not really going to think anything of it. It's probably just going to go right over my head, and I'll continue on in the story. So it's kind of interesting to think about how people perceive violence in the media, especially in movies. So moving on to my next connection from chapter 18. This is from page 392, and it says, in contrast, it is the violence that most people do not complain about or even perceive that is doing them the most harm. When people are shown violence, they should be offended and they should complain. Such a reaction is the appropriate one to violent actions. It shows that they are sensitive to the violence. When they do not complain, this is a clear indication that they have been desensitized to the violence. I also thought this was a really interesting statement from the book, and I kind of tried to see where I would fall in this, and I kind of decided that maybe I would fall kind of in the middle, because like I said earlier, if I watch someone get shot on TV, I'm not really going to react to it. I think just because I've used to seeing that type of stuff on TV all the time. However, if I see something that's like really, really super gory and gross, I'm probably definitely going to have a reaction to it. I might not be offended, but I'm probably going to go like, ew, gross, or change the channel, or, well, maybe not change the channel, but I'll probably just, say something like ew or gross, and then, continue on with it. But as I continued to think about this, I think it's different on TV. I think I personally don't really react to much just because I know it's on TV and I know it's fake. Whereas if I saw it in real life, like if I saw someone actually get shot in real life, I would probably be really scared. So I think there's a big difference there. Just because I know it's fake on TV. So I'm not really offended, and I'm not really going to complain about it unless it's like super drastically gory or whatever. So I don't know, it's kind of interesting to think if maybe other people think that way or not. I mean, I don't know, I guess everybody's different, but that's kind of how I see it as. So that is all I have for you guys this week. So check out that website. Tell me what you guys find about yourselves. And thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you guys next week.